Yo, what's going on everybody? JaymesHanson back in to bring you another Bleach video. I know it's been a while, but hear me out. We're going to be discussing as much Bleach news as we can. Bleach is around the corner. Cour 4 is about to happen soon. We're going to get a PV in May. But before all that, let's get up to date with everything that's been happening over the last few months and kind of do a deep dive, get caught up to date, and then let's slide our way in very deeply. I don't know where I was going with that. We're gonna slide right into the latest news as we go on throughout these next few days and weeks. So if you like the video, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We are back, baby, and we are ready to do more content. So if you guys haven't been getting involved, we have been getting into some nice Bleach news as of recently. One of the most recent ones that has happened over the last 2 days, which the event has now finished in Shibuya Saks, which has been the Bleach X Ram event. People are going to call it Lamm, it's called Ram. Call it what you want, but yeah, so I did a little bit of a deep dive into this because I wanted to know who Lamm was. I wanted to kind of know the background, how this collaboration became to be, what merch, what was at the exhibition, did it do well, and get into all that good stuff. I will do the interview separately because I did find some very interesting things, so that will be for another video, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, but we're going to get into it nonetheless. So let's talk about this event. First and foremost, what is Lamm? Lamm, of course, is a freelance illustrator. They graduate from an art university in Tokyo, and his early career starts with Atlas games like Persona 5, Soul Hackers 2, and so many others, and then transitioned into a freelance illustrator. And I believe this all kind of came around, and again, we'll go into the interview at some point, but this all came around because he was a very big fan of Bleach in the past and did many of his influences going forward into how Bleach's style was. And I guess this was a product made in heaven, so to say, or made match in heaven, however the saying goes. Lamm's work stands out to be energetic, graphic, with a high contrast in colours, dynamic lighting and shading, with a modern pop culture appeal that translates well across media. He uses Clip Studio Paint, which I believe Kubo now uses, for especially if you haven't seen, which we will talk about as well, the Do Not Bleach My Fist light novel that's coming out. I will be talking about that, and we will also be doing weekly reviews on that too. He's done character designs for Tucked Up, which I have never seen. I've seen the name around, I just never peeped it. Tokyo Chronos, and Technoroid and Waka, which is a arcade rhythm game, which I probably have seen and probably have played, but I probably didn't like it because most rhythm games in Japan I'm not that much of a fan of. If it ain't got the same layout as Rock Band, I don't want to know. And he's done some book covers here and there. Suffice to say that, you know, in the West, we probably don't know who the guy is, but again, in, I guess, the pop culture or otaku world of Japan, he's probably well known in that phase and probably have seen a lot of designs without probably knowing who he is. So is he a big deal? I guess by the portfolio, I would say absolutely it is. So for the Seoul Art Showcase that happened at Shibuya Saks for only a few days, which is very confusing because they only released pictures for the volume 1 of the releases, and now we have volume 2, which we will get into because I have some comments about that choice of characters. One, who decided the choice of characters? I would imagine he did, right? Lamm, Ram, whatever you want to call him. I imagine he did. And he's the GOAT, but he also is the what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, you were going bar to bar, and then we're gonna talk about that. I guess with Bleach's Cour 4 coming along the road, we're gonna see more and more merchandise coming and events coming as time goes on. I do have a complaint, and I have to be honest, I do have a complaint with Bleach that I'm going to briefly talk about in this video, but I may do another video on it too, because I know it's going to be used as fuel for the fire, but I have to be honest with you. But I'll touch upon that in a second. So there's 3 venue dates. One is the Tokyo Shibuya Saks, the Osaka Eye Gallery, and the Fukuoka Amu Estate first floor pop-up stage, which is okay. And again, we have Soifon, Yoruichi, Ichigo, Grimmjow looking like the dirty little slut that he is, and of course I couldn't even Ruruka with the fine back arched looking, godly looking, sexy looking, fucking like fresh off the fucking heavens, of the clouds, just words, man. Words just don't articulate. Bro, Ruruka in Shibuya, bro. Come on, man. I never thought I'd see the day. Except for like some like Bleach exposition, which doesn't really count. This is a very select number of characters, and this is why Ram is the GOAT, right? That's why he put it out there, he put it into the ether, threw in a bit of Soifon side titty too, and that was it. That's all she wrote, right? I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a crime that Orihime isn't in the mix, but with that being said, out of all the characters you chose Ruruka, and you chose Soifon. And I'm there. I mean, look, you can say, oh, well, what about Yoruichi? Yoruichi's been a main sellable merchandise character for quite a long time in the Bleach world, right? In terms of, she's been in many games, she's been on many keychains and art. She's got merch. She's got figures. Ruruka ain't got a fucking figure, bro. Like, let me have this. And then, which confuses me because they did a part 2, which I guess, look, I'm going to be honest, I didn't research that much into it, right? But they did a part 2, which was Kisuke, Mayuri, Shinji Hirako, somebody else, which is slipping my mind completely, which you'll see on screen, and Giselle. But why? You know, out of all, look, I get it, people may or may not like Giselle. I don't see Giselle motion. Other than memes, I don't see Giselle motion at all. Out of all the characters you could have chose, you chose Giselle. And I'm just like, out of all the Bambis, which have more high emotion, you choose Giselle? And look, all memes aside, like, I get it, push the narrative. You know, someone said to me, well, Giselle's the only character with the deepest character arcs in the Bambis, and I had to sit there and I'd be like, well, I can't say you're lying because Giselle is the only character in the Bambis which I myself have done a deep dive on. So I can't really say that isn't the case because I haven't done any other videos on any of the Bambietta characters. So I'm gonna have to do a Bambietta video now just to say that there is deeper characters. But for now, take it. But Giselle, really? We're doing this? Anyway. Okay, it was Okura. That was the other character. Okura, that makes sense. All these characters make sense. They make sense. Look, Mayuri, Kubo's favourite character. Makes sense. Kisuke, main character. Okura, Grimjow, you know, all make sense. All these characters make sense. Bing Bang Bosh Giselle. Like, what? Why? Why? Anyway, I digress. Right, I'm going on a bit of a rant. So I just kind of wanted to do like my little reaction in regards to this collaboration, and I think it's cute, I think it's interesting, though at the same time I do want to make a little bit of a notion out there to just to end off this video, and I will kind of touch upon it a little bit, right? I am not seeing any promotion besides very specific markets for Bleach, and you know, I'm not seeing it at the TV Tokyo store, I'm not seeing it at the Shonen Jump stores, I'm not seeing any merch. And I get it, Gintama's got a movie out, Naruto's ended, you're still doing Naruto merch, like there is no promotion for Bleach right now. And granted, this has a history because usually when Bleach is about to come out, like 6 months prior, usually they do halt off merchandise to sell this merchandise exclusively to either like Club Outside or other places. And I get that you want to make it exclusive to these events, but you're really, when I'm going out and about and I'm going to like 5 different Jump stores, and I'm going to like the TV Tokyo store in like Tokyo Station, and I'm not seeing anything, it does kind of bum me out a little bit. And I'm thinking, you know, you've got a Core 4 coming out and there's just nothing to provide for it like at all at the moment. And you know, people say that there's a bit of a drought in the West, or a bit of a drought like on social media. And trust me, that drought exists in the real world too, right over here. So I'm hoping that things are going to pick up. Some things are going to start showcasing and being a little bit different. I hope that this event does do successful too. Again, Shibuya is a pretty big place. I imagine the rent must have been expensive to open up a pop-up store there. But hopefully this is the start of a marketing trend that we're going to start seeing. So with that being said, I'm going to give you the interview very soon, guys. I'm going to catch you motherfuckers out. You guys, of course, have this fine day being handsome. As always, people, peace out.